we get to talk VP. We haven't talked VP today. Apparently, according to Bloomberg, Donald Trump is auditioning his VP picks this weekend in Palm Beach. Well, every weekend, every day. He's inviting them all in, and they're all chit-chatting and talking. You know, a lot of these people actually do have a clue on the economy. Maybe not Marco, but Vance, for sure. For sure. A few other names that have been flown sort of around. It's really smart people. I would say the good news is the Republican Party, they get a really, really deep bench, and they should be quite proud of that. Now, this particular article, I think, was meant to be a little bit snarky, shall we say. I don't think Bloomberg likes Donald Trump very much. In fact, I know he doesn't like Donald Trump very much. In fact, I know this because he told me. I used to work at Bloomberg, and I remember when Donald Trump opened the post office. Remember when he bought what's now, actually didn't open, he bought the post office, and he was going to open a hotel, which he did on Pennsylvania Avenue. So it was a big deal. He bought the old post office, and the media was all there, and everybody wanted to, interview him, et cetera. And I was part of the media that went down there to cover that. And he agreed to my interview first. So I got to cut the line, cut all the, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, even, it was Trish from Bloomberg, of all places. But he said something really interesting to me, and I haven't forgotten this. And so when I see sort of snarky articles over on Bloomberg, I always think about this. He said, Trish, make sure, promise me, you're going to tell your boss I said hi, right? Tell Mike I said hi. You promise? I was like, yeah, I'll definitely. No, I mean, he might have told me 5 times. So at the end of the interview, please tell your boss I said hi. And so I get back and I see the boss the next day. He had a desk right by us in the newsroom. And we're talking. And I said, just so you know, Donald Trump says hi. And he let out a whole bunch of 4-letter words. He didn't like him even way back then, long before he ever ran for president. Think about that. Kind of interesting, right? Of course, Mike had, maybe still does, I don't know, presidential ambitions himself. And I think Trump just kind of, he wanted to have friends in high places. And he said, just tell him I said hi. And then I'm like, why am I getting hit? I'm just the messenger. He just says hi. And Mike's like, rah, 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 rah. So I got an earful. He does not like Donald Trump very much. And so when you see articles in Bloomberg, remember that story. Vance, Rubio, Burgum, Scott, among leading contenders. I can tell you what my intel is. My intel is that J.D. Vance may be the guy. And I think that would be a good thing. I mean, as I've said, it's a very deep bench and a lot of talented people. A lot of talented people. But J.D. Vance, I'm hearing, might be the guy. Now, the reason that's a good thing is he understands the economy. Imagine that, right? He actually understands the economy. He's worked in business, very successful, venture capitalist. And he also understands what everyday Americans are up against. He grew up in Appalachia. I mean, he wrote a very famous book about this. It's what really launched him and launched his political career. And the values that he grew up with, he sees getting passed by. And they're frankly the values that have made this country the success it is. Family, patriotism, looking out for your neighbor, community, religion. This is what has helped define America. When you lose that, what do you have? Well, apparently you don't even have capitalism. You have a state in charge, a state making all the rules, a state that wants to be the family. That's never going to work. It's been tried all over the world multiple times. It's never worked. Whether you like it or not, you know what, human beings, we're not as altruistic as you think. We do have a lot of... Oh, that's Alexa talking to the kids. Did you guys hear that? It'll be time for bed. Means I better hurry up. But right in the middle of a really good speech. But I'm not... You know what? Family, kids, bedtime for them. These are things that matter. And these are things that make us who we are, and the values that are part of Middle America are so important, and you can't lose those. You can't look down on those. You can't scoff at those. You've got to find a way to help all Americans, to the rising tide, right? I look back to the Trump era, and I look at those numbers. You see median income having grown the most it had grown in 50 years. Actually, the wealthy didn't do as well. They didn't. And by the way, they did get taxed, especially in places like New York and California. And so the left tries to advance this narrative that somehow Donald Trump's only looking out for the wealthy. And I'm like, well, I mean, you look at the numbers, guys. Right up until March 2020, you saw the biggest median income growth that this country had ever experienced in some 50 years. And it's because policy does matter and good policy works. He brought back a lot of capital that was offshore. He stopped all those shotgun marriage deals where, some big company in the US would buy some little company over in Ireland. Nothing against Ireland. I love Ireland. But they're smart, right? They have the right economic policy. So they buy some, and then they get the benefit of that tax bracket. And then all that money stays over there. And Trump said, no, we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it home. Let's bring it home. Let's have money here. Let's build our future, instead of constantly trying to penalize. But again, when you get the social workers in charge of the economy in the White House, you get what you get. So increasingly, a lot of the smart money's on JD Vance. I mean, we'll see. I think, we'll be happy with the pick, whoever it is. But I love seeing smart people that understand our economy and understand business in that mix. Right? Don't you? Anyway.